This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Brian Edward Hill, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Good morning. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I think we all did. But let's get into it. Because Little Hellfire's up to nothing, I swear. All right, everyone. Capes and Lunatics. That handsome bastard Charlie Esser starts right now. Hello and welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil, and as I said, joining me is Little Hellfire. There's nothing going on right now. Right. And
she's hiding behind her blue.
Anyway, and
I guess me next? Sure,
the Tom Selleck of New Jersey, yes.
Charlie, the Professor Fu Manchu, Esser. And it is a Fu Manchu, that's F-A-U-X. That makes it not racist.
We'll kill that thing right off. I wait till our holidays show if we can get everybody on here.
Oh God!
See if he can call himself a professor at that point.
I'll be a professor.
I can bring in 2 real professors. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a meaningless honorific, so congratulations. I'm sorry, it is. It is. They can say it's not, but it's like putting Esquire as a lawyer. It's like there's no regulation on who can say they're an Esquire. I can be Charlie the Professor Esser Esquire.
Do it.
Literally. That's why Bill S. Preston is an Esquire.
I am totally making Charlie Esser business cards for Christmas for his Christmas present. Is going to be Charlie the Professor Esser Esquire. I swear.
Oh, I would be so honored. Just get my contact information. Yeah.
All one word.
All one word. Yep. Because it was, bitches.
It's Saturday morning. We're firing on all cylinders, apparently. Philip!
A sexually adventurous freak. I don't even know what the context of that was.
Ragdoll.
Oh, okay. I call him a furry? Oh, or maybe he's a furry. I don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
What's your agenda,
David Walker on the phone. Get David Walker on the phone.
Anyway. Anybody watching TV? What?
Oh, I was going to say, and I feel horrible because I just said I caught up on all my comic books, and I forgot the best one!
Bitterroot, yeah.
David Walker's Bitterroot. So, guys, I'm sorry you got to wait until next week. I mean, obviously, I already love it, so you know, it's like, this is going to have to be really bad to not get a glowing review from me, but I'm just very mad I haven't had the chance to read it yet. I finally got it, have it in my hot little hands, and as I'm catching up on all my books, I I got to read that. Let me catch up on everybody. And I was like, oh, this is so good. This is so much fun. And then I went through my stack and said, how did I not read Bitterroot? Oh, forgive me, David Walker. You're basic. I am basic.
There's nothing wrong with being basic. Let's fight that stereotype.
Fight me, nerd.
What is your agenda, Gelman? Come on. We don't pay the big bucks.
Unpopular opinion out of my mouth.
Anyway, did anybody read and watch any TV this week? The only thing I really saw was like the DC stuff.
Was there anything
I caught up on Legends.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I know The Gifted was off this week.
Yeah.
Oh, you caught up on Legends, You caught up on Legends,
yeah,
Charlie?
I caught up on Legends. I so love Legends. I love how they can really take
nothing.
Sitcom, like it's like, you know, what I always say is that a really good thing is when a show can turn on a dime. You know, like BoJack Horseman, where it is light and fun, and then they really turn on a dime and they make it something a little deeper and heavier. I'm not saying Legends is BoJack Horseman, Don't get it twisted.
Nothing
But
is.
I am saying that they are a show that can take really ridiculous sitcom-y universe physics and then put in some real stakes and heart to it. And this week's episode, which is their Godzilla episode, was really fantastic. Even if it was saved by a three-breasted alien warrior princess.
The best way you should end
queen.
any story, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. It was, and I really enjoyed it. And I realized I'd missed last week's episode at summer camp, which was also fun, also delightful. But I did like this week's episode with the Thanksgiving subplot, and you just have to feed the monsters and they'll be happy.
Hangry!
You know?
I was like, this is a Snickers commercial?
Well, exactly. Well, fruit pies. Although in this case, veal chops.
But Lilith asked the question on our Newcastle Crew podcast.
What about our Newcastle Crew podcast?
Like, who's the traitor? There's always a traitor in the season, and it got revealed. It's Biff.
But we don't know him, so is the treachery really...
Well,
we're just feeling it like out of third-party sympathy for Nate? Or...
Yeah, but are they going the sympathy route that, Nate's finally reconnecting with his father and he's going to, sell them out for whatever?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Is he selling them out, or is he trying to, as all people in the government do, try to harness superhumanity? I mean, when you think about it, superhumanity is this terrifying resource that modern governments in comic book worlds have to deal with. Because you have your Supermens, you have a freaking billionaire with a tech suit that shrinks stuff. This is not, you're just waiting for Ray Palmer to decide, you know what, I'm going to take over the world. And he could do it because he's got
not this Ray Palmer, but in theory, a Ray Palmer.
Well,
hey,
what? Here's what I'm going to say.
He's this close to coming under the thrall of Nora Dark, so,
Yeah, I'm just saying one bad day.
That's already happened.
Oh, yeah.
One bad day is all I'm saying, man. You give that Ray Palmer one bad day, and he's like, you know what? I'm the smartest man in this DC universe.
I mean, I get your point. I mean, you have one of the Flash's, well, maybe former rogues running around on a time ship. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah.
I love Mick, I see it. I mean, he could be pulling a Thunderbolt Ross. He's trying to do his job, but it might end up screwing over the team and his son,
Yeah, although I'm looking forward to a superhero team with Baba Yaga on it. That is going to be cool. Although, did they learn nothing about putting the Enchantress on a team? Although Baba Yaga is actually very easy to deal with. You just have to say please and thank you. If you are polite to Baba Yaga, she does not eat you. She only eats rude children. So it's important to note that she is very big on, and this is something to always learn. Anytime you're dealing with demons, they're very big on protocol. And so if you say please and thank you, they're much more accommodating. A little bit of tip from the netherworld for you.
Or as I like to say, don't summon demons and don't play with Ouija boards. It's just not a good idea.
Well, yeah, that too.
it's still my hypothesis that it's Constantine's father coming after him to drag him to hell or whatever.
I like that idea. I do. Yeah. Legends, like I said, it's the best show in the Arrowverse, and that says a lot.
I can't wait till Monday when Oliver Queen finally gets out of prison. It's gonna be episode 7 of the season or something.
Now, I'm just gonna say I'm happy with that because it wasn't an easy fix.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that
we suffered the consequences.
Spring him after an episode or two. Yeah, but still.
Just out of curiosity, is the character pregnant or is the actor pregnant or something? And that's why he can't be in all the episodes.
Who's Stephen Amell?
I'm just asking. He's in all
the episodes. It's just
he's still in it. He's just in a room.
You know what I think I see happening? I think I saw this at least once on Supergirl last season. I think I've seen the way they've shot an episode or two of The Flash this season too. But I think part of that is it's
because of the crossover.
The crossover, yeah. You can get those main stars some time away so they can start filming the crossover.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering how much crime you can fight in a prison. It's
he's gotten into some pretty dope
fought some guys
though.
in prison. Oh yeah. some of his former enemies are in that prison. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that's my point. It's like the crime was already fought. So.
The whole point, though, is that people have been complaining that we hadn't got enough Oliver Queen away from his team, I think, and that's another part that they were trying to address. It's like, we want to see Oliver. We literally don't care about the rest of Team Arrow.
And in the beard.
Steven looks better without the beard. It's like, he's like one of the only guys in the world that looks better without a beard. Like, it's almost like scientific. Give a guy a beard, he looks better, but not Stephen Amell for whatever reason. Just gonna throw that out there.
Mark Harmon can get it.
Clean shaven. Another one of those people who don't look good with a beard.
He's sitting right there, bro.
No, Charlie can pull off
I don't
any
have
facial
a beard.
hair.
Oh,
Yeah, this is not a beard.
There's
You
my
have to have
drop.
hair to really be a beard. Now, if I grew out the muttons and connected the muttons but kept this blank, I don't know if that's actually technically a beard. I'm going to be honest with you. That is a question for the internet. If you grow out your mutton chops and connect it to a Fu Manchu, does it become a beard, or is the lack of chin hair a beard? Is it the chin that makes the beard, or is it the rest of the face?
I feel like it's the chin.
A sexually adventurous.
Yeah, I feel like it's the chin too. Like, you would need the goatee, like, to grow and then move. I don't know. The 1800s, man, though, like, with some facial hair time. So
Yes. Well, those times are.
I don't know.
Everything old is new again. Welcome, John. Yeah.
Just in time.
Tyler, we're talking about the Arrowverse right now.
Yes, the Arrowverse.
Are you excited? Are you excited for the crossover where we get to see Black Suit Superman?
I am. I'm excited for the crossover because one thing that I read was because of the nature of the crossover, it's going to be kind of standalone-ish, which I'm kind of cool with. You know? Because, was it 2 years ago with the Dominators, we kind of suffered just a little bit because it had the Arrow 100th episode in it. So they're like, and it felt like each chapter was, this is the Flash chapter, this is the Arrow chapter. And then last year felt like more of one cohesive movie, which was nice. So I like the idea of it being a little bit more of a standalone type story. We're going to get with crazy stuff.
With Flash, they're not making their episode 100 part of it, so.
Exactly. Yeah. They were smart and they planned a little bit ahead, so. They're like, aha.
Right. You don't appreciate it at first, but then you're like, oh, I get it. Thank you for that.
So what else is on the agenda, Philip?
Did anybody, I know Charlie didn't, but did anybody watch Titans yesterday?
I did.
I watched the first 4 minutes, and then Jania was like, Charlie. I don't feel good. I need to go to bed. So Jania went to sleep.
That's how I feel watching the Titans most days.
So
it's a struggle to get through sometimes. It really is.
So you saw the end, Lilith?
Yeah.
They call it the Brian Edward Hilder written episode. It's coming after they blow up the asylum. There's the Robin costume burning on the front lawn. It's coming.
Exactly. It's like we couldn't put them down to say it, but
they burned that Robin costume. You know what comes next.
It's a bummer because I don't think they'll be. I actually like that costume.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Here's the question, Phil, just to break your heart. What do you think the odds are they're actually just going to skip Nightwing completely and just go to Dick Grayson, Agent of File? Yeah. Just Dick Grayson jumping around in a unitard with no particular things and just like, I'm Dick Grayson.
And then he comes back to Nightwing after he's honed his skills.
Need to get my unpopular.
I would say that's no, because it would be almost like it completely undermined the whole arc and the fact that we're tired of getting teased our heroes. We actually want to see our heroes. And that's kind of what my hope is with the entire DC universe is they'll actually give us more of what we want that they can. Because it's their stuff, and then nobody's telling them what to do.
Plus, I don't think DC Universe is in the position to, long tease people either.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But more to the point, have they established anything to give you a Nightwing?
We don't know.
They burned
his name's Dick Grayson?
They burned the Robin suit this episode. What was it? Last episode, we get Jason Todd, who's already Robin, so...
I understand what you're saying, and I understand why he'll stop being Robin.
Mhm.
But my statement is why should you think he's going to become Nightwing? What is
That's
what
what
is it about
happens in the
Nightwing
comics.
that makes that a character that is logical as a transition from Robin?
Well, it's Dick Grayson reconciling the fact that he needs a costume and he does what he does in his costume.
Yeah, that's
That's what the rest of this season's going to be about.
Well, that's been the theme of the season so far for him. It's like he has all these bad vibes with that suit. It's like this identity, it's basically turned me into a killer. And
I think Charlie's might be subtly referencing about why he calls himself Nightwing when we don't have Superman in this universe.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Well,
We don't know. We don't know what's going on.
yeah, they haven't said definitively either way, have they?
Well, Batman's going to show up, but I don't think Superman's going to show up.
But
so.
here's the one kicker. Okay, here is the one kicker. Do you remember in the Hawk and Dove episode when Dawn walks in to talk to Hawk? She's wearing a Superman T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
True. So yeah,
And I mean, you could always.
because that was a retcon of
Yeah, and you can always do something where he comes up with it without a Superman influence.
No, you can certainly do it. I just wonder.
You can always
I guess my
reference
thing
back.
is
I mean, you can always reference back because this whole show is predicated on and it already exists.
On the all the universe already existed and stuff. Yeah, you don't know.
yeah.
It's like when they started New 52. It's like, oh yeah, there's all this altered history that you've never seen, but just trust us, it's there. So,
which is
but I also,
why we hated it.
I guess one thing that one can look at when you look at these Titans is that Robin is the only one with a secret identity. So you have Beast Boy has a code name, but it's kind of a very straightforward code name. Starfire, I guess it's a code name, but she's also Corey Anders, I guess.
Well, it's weird because
it's like, yeah, he is separating himself out, and the question is, does he now become more like his friends who just sort of have a code name but are just who they are, or is he going to say, no, I still have to have a whole?
Well, he does because he's still
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand, and also, does Nightwing really intimidate the way that a Robin intimidates?
Well, he also needs to separate his complete identity away from all that other stuff. So I can see it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is he has issues with getting away from Bruce Wayne. So it's kind of like this is my creation. This wasn't like
handed.
Yeah, like out of Batman and
still using the Wayne tech though.
I mean that's Roy did too. He used he robbed Ollie too. So it's like it's a sidekick thing to do in the DC world.
I'm just saying, utility belts don't restock themselves.
Plus the biggest reason when I think I don't know if it was the first or second time I talked to Brian Edward Hill, I said, "Is it going to be Nightwing?" And he's like, "Who's Nightwing?"
That was the second time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Although I will say this, for what little I watched it, I did like the fact that he was picking up his Robin, Tony Stark and Washington Mob. I only got so many of these things, man.
Yeah.
I gotta,
It's the Hawkeye.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Got a call from the wife.
Yeah, but it was a nice touch there. So, I mean, I welcome Nightwing. I mean, I'm not watching this show because, I'm not going to pay however much they
We've
want
already discussed it on Super Connectivity, Charlie. Let it go.
I know.
Let it go. Philip,
they need more shows.
And they're coming.
Oh, but one thing I actually didn't mention about Legends is the previous episode, they name-checked Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing!
Yeah. But Constantine also says, I know a Swamp Thing. That's not him.
Exactly.
He better be on that DC universe Swamp Thing.
He's the one that if he needed to show up on Gotham though, then we could say he's the one that connects all the universes through his magic. But they missed that opportunity.
Who knows what's coming with No Man's Land? Who knows?
I would die.
Did we mention Black Lightning yet?
No, not yet.
No.
Did you guys already?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Did everybody watch it this week?
I did.
You did it?
No. But you can spoil me. It's okay.
It's not really a spoiler. I just watched this episode like, I just feel like every joke I was about to make no longer exists because you guys didn't see it. But
I saw it.
yeah, this episode was just what the. It just took it in a direction I was like, now we're in like redneck, like Romeo and Juliet racist crap.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
It's like one of his daughters dating a villain or something.
I was just like, this completely ruined everything. You kind of watch it for yourself and be like, what?
It was kind of weird. It was like two rival gangs, and I don't know, at least one of them seemed like black rednecks or something. It was really weird.
One was like black-neck forest people, white people who are giving power because this lady shoots silver liquid stuff into them because she's a meta. And they've been at like silent war on the south end of Freeland since slavery, and they have the worst names ever. It just took it to a level. I was like,
it might be new writers. Did you check that? Sometimes when you get episodes like that,
this morning, and I was just like, this is almost Gotham bad, okay? Like
so
the worst episodes of Gotham. Like this is almost right there with them.
So is this like Gotham?
Like two families, like the Hatfields and McCoys, but like one used to own the other, and like this is this group that was owned by them, and they're
it's just white people. It's just white people who are not connected by family. They're only connected because this white meta woman has powers of silver liquid. It looks like T-1000.
And the black daughter has two babies. One of them is white. So
yeah. So the black daughter of one of the black families is pregnant by one of these white silver people, and has twins. One's all black, one's all white. They're like the Wonder Twins because when they hold hands, their eyes light up.
Yeah, they have some kind of meta power. It seems like the babies are connected.
Okay, so it's like, okay. I can follow that. That's a common.
It's something Charlie Esser would like. Let me.
No, I mean it's a 1970s kind of comic book trope. Very, very.
Yeah.
You know.
With Black Lightning, as you do.
You know, well, yeah.
They can't all be winners when it comes to Black Lightning. Like, the writers from this season, it seems like it's had a reconstruction, if you will, and I haven't really been feeling this season as much, unfortunately. Like, the beginning of the season was great, but like around episode 3 was where I was just like, what's going on in this writer's room? I feel like there's like some kind of like...
Yeah. Now, is this maybe a retro episode? Is this taken contemporaneously?
Yeah, it's
current because
it's not like the secret origin of the mobster from the first.
No, because he was
albino.
His oldest daughter was there, and
she helped.
Black Lightning was there.
The babies.
Yeah,
Black Lightning shows up to help fight and defend them. Then Jeff gets like excited at the thought that there's maybe this evil white woman with silver is one of the original vaccine survivors like him, because they referenced she was in Freeland 30 years ago.
They should have just did a Static Shock show. Like at this point, is every time that Black Lightning has a bad episode, that's always the bad. We should have just had Static.
Yeah. Have a good night.
I just like the idea of like Black Lightning kind of. As I saw one person put it, it's like this is DC's Luke Cage. Like, you know, like fighting like the political system and not having like as much super powered enemies.
I think the first season, more than anything, it seemed like they were trying to go that direction. This season, I'm not sure as much.
And then in this season, I'm like, they're like, we need to give him a villain that has superpowers.
This season
shoots out silver.
Well, now this season, they're like, oh, Luke Cage got canceled after 2 seasons. Let's change course.
He didn't get canceled. He got restructured into the Disney Plus realm.
Yeah, you could see Heroes for Hire. Yeah.
Well, that's that's the hope.
It's like, we need to print our money. Bring it over here.
True that.
But yeah, I mean...
Okay, Leonard.
Yeah. I finished watching it and I was like, wow, this was a waste of my hour.
I think the second half will be a lot better,
about most things. I'm usually like, okay, I'll roll with this.
Hey, when's Krypton coming back, by the way? Or is it back?
It's not back.
Okay.
Is it the summer again? Maybe because wasn't his last summer, Tyler? Krypton?
Yeah, but they cleared their schedule pretty well over there on the Sci-Fi Channel, which is why I was wondering.
Is it approved to come back?
Yeah,
they got a second season. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's
I think he shows to have a really good first season.
So I have to catch up. That's yeah. I'm in that spot where I watch 3 episodes of something, and it's like it's hard for me to keep on going if I don't have a podcast on it,
Same here. Like, oh my god, yeah.
It's like if this is not a show that I am going to be talking about, it's like, well, now there's some shows that aren't like that. The Good Place is one of those.
And then after that,
and all the other are on Netflix.
I'm too drunk for this.
Whew.
Oh.
Philip, get your agenda together, sir. Is there any news you want to talk about?
All right, let's watch a little roll her eyes. Did everybody watch the Once Upon a Deadpool trailer?
Yes.
No. They don't Fred Savage is in it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's sitting, adult Fred Savage sitting in the bed, all Princess Bride style.
There you go, Princess Bride.
And the one thing I do know about this is that essentially someone pitched this as an open internet pitch, which is one of these interesting things that is happening now that we have to deal with in this world, where someone throws out an idea that writers could have very easily, without ever hearing, said, yes, that's the exact framing device that we would use for PG-13 Deadpool. So, but apparently Ryan Reynolds called the guy and they talked about it, and apparently the guy's being cool, like I am, because usually I always preface when I throw out my ideas that this is a free idea. If you came up with this on your own, if you do, I always say, I'm not asking for anything, just put it out there. The guy was cool about it, so he's a real fan, so that's good. He was like, now I have you in my clutches, Fox.
Wait for it.
Give me money.
Just wait for it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not a fancy man. I don't require those kinds of things. I would like the acknowledgement, and this guy got his acknowledgement. Everyone knows he came up with this idea. And it's fair to say that in the world of creativity, lots of people do a lot of work to create a lot of things, and people are going to have the same ideas. He probably got tickets to the premiere. He's probably got a lot of nice things out of the deal that are going to be worth it for him. So, that's the thing. Like, if anyone ever says, Charlie Esser came up with that idea first, it's like, and Marvel wants to come to me and say, hey, Charlie, we came up with the same idea. You just don't want any problem. I'll say, hey, no problem, man. But yeah, I'd love to talk to you guys some more if you want. And I'm sure that guy got the chance. He got the chance to pitch Ryan Reynolds on like 6 other ideas, and Ryan Reynolds was like, But okay, great. Good talking to you. Good meeting.
But I think this version is only in theaters for 2 weeks or something. But I believe Ryan Reynolds only agreed because I think part of the proceeds are going to charity. I think it's cancer research or something.
The fudge cancer for the PG-13 version.
Yes, fudge cancer. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So they created their own charity just for that.
I'm very tentatively skeptical about this whole thing. It's just okay, so if it does do well in its 2-week run, then all we're ever going to have is PG-13 Deadpool from here on out. So I'm just a little conflicted.
Is it possible?
That's what this is all about.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it possible that they're going to have Deadpool in PG-13 MCU movies, but then if he gets another solo movie, it'll be R, or is it going to be PG-13 all the way with Disney?
Deadpool all the way. Now that they have
here's what I'll say. I think that you're going to get much like you get Deadpool in the comics, which is that when he's in someone else's comics, there are restrictions on what he can do, and when he's in his own comic, he gets to do what he wants within the restrictions of what is allowed within. So,
I just think this is one of the properties that's going to suffer from the whole merger deal. That's just how I feel.
I agree with what Charlie's saying, but at the same time, you gotta look at an executive like, we can make this work at PG-13, and instead of only making X amount of dollars, now we can double that because now everybody can come and see it.
Are there 12-year-olds that don't go to R-rated films?
Do they? But here's
with their parents, because you do get carded where I live.
Do they pay to see those movies? Because maybe they watch.
I always did. I don't know.
But
I guess when I was a kid, we had much more lax standards about what kids were allowed to see. I guess basically the nanny culture of the world has hurt.
I had to throw out a bunch of kids who snuck in to see it when I was working part-time at the movie theater. So they
you were
watched,
that guy, huh?
Damn it!
Hey, I was an usher. I never did that. I'm just saying.
When they have police on the weekend, they're patrolling.
Yeah, but that's for like guys with guns, man. I mean, not for nothing. It's not like, hey, are you old enough to see a PG-13 film, kid? Let's see your ID. I'm 13. I don't actually have ID. You don't have ID at 13.
Actually.
I love the New Jersey standards. Anyone can see an R-rated movie as long as they're not packing heat.
Well, this was Michigan I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Well,
Detroit metro area, man.
not much difference.
Yeah, I say that just like really doesn't help argument.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It was a different time. I mean, think about this. They used to make toys for R-rated movies. You could walk in the toy aisle at Walmart, and they had Terminator 2 toys, and RoboCop, and Starship Troopers.
I know, Tristan loves those.
And now they wouldn't dare make those type of toys that you
Not
could
for kids,
buy
yeah.
at Walmart. Yeah, I mean, they make them, like, for adults.
Yeah, you get those, like, McFarlane toys or whatever.
Yeah, like, but I mean, like, you
Buy
can't
them at
walk
Toys
down...
R Us.
Well, Toys R Us
You can't walk
is
down to
dead.
Walmart.
No, it's coming back. It's going to be in every Kroger's. It's going to be called Jeffrey's Toy Box.
Yeah, and I've been
Kroger
looking
isn't
for it.
everywhere, just so you know.
Yeah,
So
there's no
it's really not
Kroger's here.
officially
No.
back.
Yeah, there's no Kroger's here.
So there's a wide distribution who's officially not back.
Yeah.
As of
Well-
yet.
As of, yeah, exactly.
I think Jeffrey's Toy Box should just merge with where they're trying to bring back KB Toys.
Yes!
Trying to make some sort of, like, toy empire of just having...
And FAO shorts, too, apparently.
Yeah. Well, and FAO Schwartz is
Just
back.
they need to reunite and create the toy.
Just be Toy Palace. Just call it a day.
You know, the fact of the matter is that kids will still buy toys, and kids will like movies that are inappropriate, and they will still make toys for adults that are inappropriate. But like I said, I mean, how many Venom toys does Tristan have? Lots. And he's getting
And
more
Venom's
for Christmas.
PG-13. And Venom is PG-13.
Yeah, not ours.
Like a turd in the wind. Moving on.
And he's still only 6. By the way, I did not know that was the actor who played Biff in
He
on
doesn't
Legend.
listen to our Newcastle Crew podcast, that's why.
Yeah.
What
And
about our Newcastle Crew podcast?
there's only so many podcasts I can listen to. I do regularly listen to Wade's World, though.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I do regularly. It comes in and I don't turn it off. In fact, I'm not sure the last time I heard a new Newcastle Crew.
Monday.
Take it up with Philip.
It was out Monday.
Well, you know what the problem is, Philip? If another podcast comes in after it, then I don't get to hear it. Because it's only when something is there that it hits, that's been downloaded and hits as I'm going
All
through the playlist.
on our Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics sidekicks plug. There's only one episode a day on both of them.
Yeah, which means if I don't listen to it that day,
Oh,
I don't know if I still have
Lazy.
sidekicks on there.
That's lazy.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I got a lot of things I got to listen to, Phil. And I'm also trying to be an informed American about, like, politics and things, you know.
The election is over. Worry about it in a couple more months.
Elections are never over, Lilith. That's the one thing you have to know about politics.
If we lived in the UK, that wouldn't be true. We'd have 6 weeks to deal with it and don't have to worry about it to the next cycle. Just saying.
And look how that worked out for the UK.
Still better than ours. I'm just saying.
Hey, look, comic book stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
but we're speaking of Deadpool. Did you see? I guess they're trying to convince Hugh Jackman to make one more appearance as Wolverine with Deadpool.
Yeah, and he says
Hey.
nobody wants a crossover.
I'm just saying, if that's really what they wanted, the Once Upon a Deadpool should have been where it happened. Because that would have gave that movie, I think, that extra push. Because, you know,
I
right
don't have
now,
any incentive to see it other than that we're podcasting about it, just to be honest.
like, I don't have an incentive to see it because I'm like, okay, so we got these cutscenes of Fred Savage, and then we have maybe a couple extra filtered scenes and re-edits. And I'm just like, how much work did they put into this? And is it just going to be like Deadpool crossed over with Family Guy with a bunch of cutscenes? Like,
Well, I think it might be fun for the humor aspect. I'm actually somewhat interested in the concept. You know, from an MST3K kind of view of it, I imagine that it might be quite enjoyable to hear the meta commentary on the meta commentary.
And then
that's
I think it'd be kind of funny if they like embraced the edits and like went all about like redoing the dialogue to make the trying to edit the language absurd or stupid.
Prison wallet? I don't know what that means.
Listen, Melon Farmer.
So are they doing Deadpool 2 or Deadpool 1 in Once Upon a Deadpool?
I think it's supposed to be Deadpool 2 because there were some scenes. I believe it's Deadpool 2, but that's going to be. I don't know if they're going to have the Fred Savage scenes like intercut in it. And
well, Deadpool 2 is the more family friendly one.
I mean,
yeah, it is.
It is.
You can tweak.
It's got much more superheroism. It's and honestly, like I said, I didn't even think the first Deadpool was that bad. It had language and sexual situations, and CGI gore, which is like the easiest thing to take out. And they have TV edits of the original Deadpool, so it's not like
Phil has the best edit of the original Deadpool. I made.
Tyler sent Luke Tyler cut out all like the bad stuff out of Deadpool 1. It's a solid 15 minutes.
Well, yeah, if you just saw the whole scene.
Oh yeah, Luke is all ready to go for this PG-13 Deadpool 2.
Yes, and again, he's not 13 either, is he?
No.
Hey, but as long as you have your parent, because let's just face it, the Avengers isn't,
But yeah, the Avengers is PG-13. Yeah.
Well, yeah, these are all randomized standards that are actually based on how much money you put into your campaign to get the rating you want.
PG-13 is just like saying, hey, we want a lot of money, and we're going to push it as far as we can to make the adults happy, but keep it just right so the kids can see it too, so we can make all the money that we can.
All right, here's my drop for my
It's no boobs and no F-bombs. I mean, literally, that's the only difference.
Here's my drop for myself this week. And what kind of role model was Tony Stark for our children?
Good luck with that one, Phil. That's a long list.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, Phil, literally, you can make your own drops. I mean, but it's kind of like when you like your own selfie. It's like, hey, I look good, don't
Nobody else is making my drops.
That getting funny.
Tell Lilith to cut up whatever she wants. I'll
never like your own posts. So that's the first rule.
Never go full self-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, never go double god. That's all.
Oh no, we're no.
Oh, by the way, Chernobog is in the Marvel Universe now, and that is just great. I love that fact. He's like the ultimate Disney villain from the one movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Fantasia.
Oh yeah.
Still a good film. It holds up. And,
I never got into Fantasia 2000.
I never saw that one. Yeah. I don't know how you make Fantasia without Disney at the helm. That's a Disney. That was Walt Disney's artistic creation. And why don't we just make another Fantasia? It's like, because you don't have Walt Disney to make it. That's like saying, hey, why don't we just make a Picasso? Let's go paint a couple of Picassos. People love Picasso. Let's just go paint a Picasso. Yeah. That's not Picasso. This is Guernica 2. I don't know how you say that word. That town that got bombed and was horrifically, firebombed and people died. It was very bad. Guernica, that's how you pronounce it. Guernica 2, Electric Boogaloo. We don't paint that. You don't make Fantasia 2. It's just, that's, there's certain things I gotta say that, there are certain places you don't really want to go, and I don't think that Fantasia needed a remake, because it's not like there's a story to continue,
Yeah.
If you want to say, well, we had an anthology series of Fantasia, that'd be great, but it's like, we had Fantasia, and then we did Fantasia again. It's like,
yep.
That's not an anthology series. That's, you don't get to call it suddenly an anthology series. You did it once. If you kept on doing Fantasia, then yes, you could say that's an ongoing property. It doesn't need to have Disney at the helm, but, no.
All right.
I scared Lilith away with my Fantasia costume.
I know. It looks like she was back, and then she dropped out.
It's like, that's Fantasia. I'm out.
Well, I wanted to jump into comics, but to start off, Tyler, what have you been thinking about Bendis' Superman in action? Any improvement?
No improvement. I've liked action more, just because I like the mixture of Clark Kent investigating, doing his reporter job, and then being Superman. I feel like our pseudo, are they trying to do love interest with the fire marshal lady kind of has disappeared.
Wait, who's dating a fire marshal?
And then that whole side plot where they put her in there.
They're trying to build sexual tension because, Lois is out of the picture. But Lilith, let's throw some gasoline on this fire. Lilith, I started the comic section and I asked Tyler what he thought, has Bendis improved on Superman in action, so.
And at this point, we're both so resigned that it's just like, fine, okay, that's not as bad as the first 4 issues where it was just like everything that could go wrong went wrong. So now I'm just like, it's not as bad as that.
Every other issue of what is it, Superman? Rogolzar versus someone.
Yeah,
it's like stop trying to make Rogolzar happen, and then I would be a little bit more happy.
Thank you, Lilith. That's how I feel. I'm like they're like trying to make Rogolzar.
Take 6 months off, Bendis, of Rogolzar, please.
But are you ready for Jonathan Kent to be our new villain?
Oh,
I will say I don't like it, but if the writing is there, it could be a really powerful story.
Yes.
But I'm almost at the point of that mindset of, okay, I'll take this, but give it a few years, someone will fix it and retcon this, and move on past this.
We have all 4 of us here. We need to do the Bendis drop.
All right. Are we going to ascend, or are we just going to keep the same level of...
Well, Charlie's the most indifferent. He's got no skin in this game.
Wait. Bendis!
Fun fact.
I think my biggest problem is the pacing is slow in the books.
That's a Bendis pacing.
And now that they're one a month, I almost forget what happened in the last book. Like when I started the past issue of Superman, and I started at the beginning, I was like, "Wait, what happened? What did I miss?"
Wait, are they
once
a month, or does it just seem that way?
No, they're once a month. They're back to being once a month instead of the bi-weekly that we had before.
Damn, because Batman and Detective are like still.
Well, of course, Batman and Detective are gonna be because they're
1,000's coming in March. Yeah.
So I mean. They're just, with Bendis' slow pacing of writing, like, if this book was weekly, with Bendis' style would be one thing, but being monthly, I feel like every time the new issue drops, I have to reread the last issue to try to remember what happened. And
do you get the feeling that maybe, how's he selling? Lilith, you're the one who knows how things are selling. Is he improved on Superman's numbers? Or is Superman's number just held steady? Is he hurting Superman?
It's steady, but I know that the numbers are a little bit lower than what they had been. So
yeah, see, you don't want that.
I think people are having a disinterest in Superman at this particular moment with the with the whole situation that's going on across the board in all other media. So that's obviously going to reflect the comic books too. You have kind of this fatigue thing. And the fact that the story just doesn't seem to be resonating with anybody. Like, every time I read reviews, people are just like, it's there. We're just going to try to push through this.
It feels like a story that Bendis wanted to tell because he liked this idea better than servicing the character. He was like, man, I really like the idea of Rogolzar. I'm going to make this happen. Doesn't matter what's been going on already. I'm going to force this character and this background. Because honestly, like I said before, the destruction of Kandar should have been something that was like, oh my god, holy crap.
Not just a side note, yeah.
Yeah, like that should have been something that hit me as just the fan of the character and understanding what that meant to Superman. And like, it's like Bendis was like, alright, got Kandor, check, gone.
They should have,
gone.
they should have given Bendis, They should have given Bendis his own Earth 1 series or some Elseworlds series, something that wasn't in main continuity, and let him say, okay, you know what, go play.
But that defeats the purpose of buying a Bendis. You don't buy a Bendis to leave it in the garage.
Yeah, well, like
you don't
said,
leave, but the Earth 1 stuff and like the Earth 2 books actually tend to be like a bigger event than just the week to week, month to month books.
Well, like you said, I mean, this isn't a Bendis in his prime, though. This is Bendis with 50,000 miles on him.
Well, part of me is wondering, and this is because when you speak about the pacing, if they told him it was going to be a weekly book, and he was writing it as a weekly book, and then like when the numbers went through, they said, you know what, we're just going to do you monthly because it does cost a lot to put out each issue. And if you do a weekly book that doesn't sell, you're losing a lot of money on that. So not everybody like myself can get to the comic book store every Wednesday. And so, you have this situation where maybe he wrote it one way, they're marketing it as another way, and maybe they just told him, everyone just reads the trades anyway. So when it comes in the trade, everyone's going to love it.
And that's kind of like
it's entirely a possibility.
Revisiting this stuff once he has his whole arc complete and just trying to sit down and read it straight through to see if I really like the story as a whole compared to trying to enjoy this story as it's being presented to me.
I'll tell you what, though.
On the phone.
I'll tell you what, though. The best DC book this week, in my opinion, was Teen Titans number 24.
Oh.
And that's saying a lot. Like, it was a lot of poop to wade through on the DC side. I read almost every single one of them this week, so...
So what was good about Teen Titans 24? Was it just
the story was kind of fun. I don't know, like they hadn't felt like a cohesive unit for quite a while, which is why I kind of stopped reading, and I picked it back up, and they just kind of seemed like the Teen Titans that I want to read about. So yeah.
Oh, so you read Batman 59?
I did.
What's going on there?
I literally have no idea.
I gotta bow out. I have to go do my adult responsibility of a job.
It was great seeing you again.
See you,
Good seeing you guys. I miss you all. All right, I'll join in later. Bye.
Bye.
I see where Tom is going. I actually do, but I don't know.
Let me set this up for Charlie, Esther, and the others. Yeah, so basically, Penguin tells Batman, yeah, Bane's the one behind all this stuff that's gone down. You not getting married, Dick Grayson getting shot in the head. So basically, Batman goes to Arkham, and Bane's doing his best impression of a vegetable and just like, no, don't hit me. I'm all broken mentally now, trying to trick everybody. And Gordon's like, no. Commissioner Gordon shows up and's like, no, quit beating on him. And Batman basically backhands Gordon. Gordon's like, get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Although Gordon needed that backhand. That's been a long time coming. I'm just saying.
Nothing. Gordon's familiarity with this vigilante is never a good thing. I mean, I don't know what people... Well, I mean, I guess, way they vote for everybody in Gotham.
You mean not at all, and it's all corrupt?
Yeah,
there's no term
really
limits?
I don't even know, but... Honestly, I think that there should be. That's one thing you can actually say about that Dark Knight thing. Was that eventually Gordon does go like, you know what, Batman is, well, at least publicly, Batman's a bad thing, and we have to not be loving this guy. Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to see how they handle everything in Gotham. I'm really excited for the return of Gotham.
Plot twist: Jim Gordon is Batman.
That sounds like him anyway.
Hey Bruce, try it like this.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Before the Bat returns, when Gotham returns,
it's going to be fun, man. I can't wait.
What about our Before the Bat podcast?
Okay. What about super connectivity? There you go. You have a drop.
Yeah, Charlie was telling me not to do my own drops. He says, "Don't go."
It's too meta. It's too meta. He
said, "Don't go full god or double god or whatever."
Yeah. I was thinking it's like liking your own post. Yeah, I said a really smart thing there. Do you like your own post?
I do. I don't care. I don't care. I do.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's fine. I like when someone
Only on Instagram.
my post.
You got to get the ball rolling on Instagram. That's the only place I do it.
There's my drop low hellfire. I don't care. I do.
You know, it might be okay. Like to me, I just feel like it's very hubristic and very, very worried about the sin of hubris. It is the original sin after all. That's what killed poor Crusher Creel. I'm just saying. Or Krell. Or Creel. Yeah, Creel. It's Creel.
Or we could all be Cartman. I don't care. I do what I want.
Yes. By the way, I read my one DC book this week.
Ooh.
Most weeks. Yeah, I finally read my Justice League Dark. I still love this book, although again, I'm having a Spider-Geddon moment with this, where obviously there's tons of stuff happening in between, like the last issue and this issue. That I'm like, oh, okay, so Olympus is being eaten by the old gods we defeated last issue, because I guess we didn't really defeat them. We only got a détente, and it's very cool, and honestly, you would just love Bobo all the more from this, and the chimpanzee drinks. You know, that's how you open, that's how you close, and the chimpanzee drink. And I wish this had codes, man. Oh, but hey, look, Blue Devil got a makeover.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Because Bobo is not good at his job. Oh, look, we get Omega Swamp Thing. That was fun. If you like Swamp Thing, and if you like Constantine, because there's a lot of Constantine in this too.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Constantine is a member of the Justice League Dark. They didn't hype him, but he's totally there every issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of Justice League Dark, then it's kind of just implied that it's Constantine's team.
Yeah, that's Wonder Woman's team. He's not the leader, but he's there. So
he's a usurper. That's what he does.
By the way, I'm kind of interested in this. Freedom Fighters.
Oh yeah, what is
the
that?
Cartoon?
No, it's a 12. Isn't it like a 12 issue
series? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not quite sure what they're doing with this, because they got the Nazi guy painting, but it's a Nazi. He's got the circle with the thing.
Over Uncle Sam, yeah.
Yeah, because they can't put the swastika in it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I did see that ad. Here it is. Yeah, it's by Robert Venditti, who's writing Green Lantern until recently. Yeah. Yeah.
So I find that an interesting thing. I don't know. I like it. But yeah. So I'll give the doing good with that. One thing I did want to talk about, as far as comics, if we can jump to something else, is Alternate Comics.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Alternate Comics. It came out on Wednesday. On that note, this is it was $1.99, so I'm not going to complain. It is an anthology comic, which I do like anthology comics, but they have this thing where it's some of these are complete stories, and then some are just when you get those preview comics from Marvel or DC, and they give you the first 4, the middle 4 pages of some upcoming book.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. So some of these are complete stories. The first one is really great, actually. This first story that they lead with, and I wasn't sure I was gonna like it. It's called Emergence, and basically the plot of this is that the Bermuda Triangle is real, and there's several other places on Earth that are like this, that are this pan-dimensional porthole that the industrialized nations of the world found out about years ago, and they said, hey, there's a place where everything disappears. That sounds like a great place to put toxic waste. So they've basically been dumping toxic waste and doomsday devices and various things into this other dimension for years, and then they dropped something in there that some sort of quantum nuclear device or something. And now things are coming back out of the hole, basically. And one of the things that came out of the hole is this paratrooper from the 1940s. Well, actually, he was a pilot from the 1940s, and we get the rest of the members of his team, which include a Viking, an African tribeswoman, and an Aztec Indian. They don't actually say if these guys are actually any of these, except for the Viking, are actually warriors. They might be I'm like the baker in the Aztec village, man. I don't. But they're putting them all together to be a ragtag team to go into the other dimension to turn off the thing that's about to drop all of the stuff they've dropped in this dimension for the last 40 years back into the real world. So, or our world. Obviously, this is a real world. It's just a different different type of world. But anyway, so that was exciting. I'm hoping that continues when I pick this up next week. The next story was kind of a great like journey into mystery kind of thing, or not journey, like a House of Mystery kind of story. It's just a typical horror anthology about tree people eating people and the psychological trauma thereof. It's a nice black and white bit. And then, like I said, maybe some of these are ads, but I'm not sure. Like this one, which is called Algorithm. I mean, maybe this is more meant for people that are just reading for the visuals, because it is a visually nice story, but it's like it kind of just goes into like 4 pages, and then it's done. You know, not much to go from there. And then, yeah, I think, this was an okay one. This is, again, another black and white piece called The Highest Bidder, about a guy who buys a cursed object on eBay and drives him mad.
As you do.
As you do. Yeah. And then this is one that seems like it's called The Wicked Righteous Genesis, which seems, and literally this is literally a 2-page story. And it seems to be a guy, basically after the apocalypse, he was like left in prison. And he's trying to communicate with some sort of demon creature to get out. And then he gets out, So then I guess he's going to be wandering the apocalypse thereafter. But like the stories that were complete stories I really love, the stories that were just partial stories, I don't know where it's supposed to lead me to. I hope maybe when I get the next issue 4, those will continue, but I got the feeling that maybe they won't. So, I don't know. But it's on my pull list, so we'll see what the next issue looks like on
How does it feel in your hands, since it's the different...
Oh, well, you know what? Here's what I'll tell you. The first thing that strikes me is like, oh, I remember when printing was so difficult and coloring was so hard. And it's like, oh, look at all these problems with, like, page layout and coloring. Although there were problems with some of the... like major books I read. But I like it, I do like it. One thing I forgot about is that newsprint actually like sucks the water out of my hands, so it actually feels weird on my hands after I read an old school comic book. But that's not necessarily something that doesn't happen with regular comic books. It's a little more pronounced when it's like that soft paper newsprint. So but I like it. And like I said, at $1.99 you can't really argue much with it. I just wish, I don't know, I guess I wish there was a little more to direct me to other, I mean, they have a couple of hints about some of the other books they do. Exilium is one, which looks interesting, but I have no idea what the real premise is. The art looks nice, I'll give it that much. And so, there's stuff that might be interesting to go to. Oh, and here's here's their whole list, but you have to go find out what these are about before you buy them, and that makes it a little harder, but...
And
as it is.
Actually, some of the alternative stuff is on Comixology. So it probably would make it a little easier for you to like investigate that way before you fully commit to. So
yeah.
What issue number was that?
That was issue 3.
Oh, okay.
Issue 3, yeah. But I like it. Like I said, I'll get the next one once it comes in. Dr. Horrible.
Yes, I wanted to talk about that last time. Absolutely Dr. Horrible sing along during the strike. Like that got me through. Like that.
Did you read this book or?
No, I have one, but I haven't read it yet.
No, it's very good. I enjoyed it. It has
a lot of... a continuation, or is it completely different stories with just the same characters?
I'm trying to remember how the sing-along blog ended. But, I mean, do you want a spoiler on it?
Yeah, sure.
So apparently, Dr. Horrible creates a device that he thinks did not work that makes you not hate someone. And then he suddenly realized, and actually this is my favorite character, Hourglass. She can see into the future. And basically she's being attacked by time worms because she left the portal open when her mom called, and the time worms thought she was trying to travel in time, and the time worms, right there's the time worms, will eat you if you travel in time. Never go back, never travel in time. And like I said, there's a lot of neat things in here. Dr. Horrible does save the day. I won't tell you how, but he does save the day. But he realizes that this device he created was making him and Captain Hammer be friends, and he smashes it so that they don't so that they're not forced to be friends anymore. But then Captain Hammer says, "But you did save the day. You are a hero," and he hugs him. And then Captain Hammer steals his concert tickets. So it was, and runs off with Hourglass. And he's like, "But you're supposed to be evil." I was like, "Yes, I am." And yeah, it's a really good book. I think it captures what I loved about Dr. Horrible very nicely, and so I just said it's a one shot. You know,
just a one shot.
Oh, trust me, I heard it in pretty good numbers, so it won't be a one shot for too long.
I read the latest Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and I don't have the book here, unfortunately. It is a great take on a metafictional comic book character, because within her own structure, she is basically going back and meeting. So it meets with her. It has her meeting writers of fiction that she is aware of, but she is. It's like it's not metafictional in a traditional sense, but it's metafictional in the fact that she keeps on running into creators of classic horror, and she's being chased by Dracula, which is fun. But then in the last issue, who has actually been controlling this, and it's actually Dr. Faustus.
Oh.
From the opera, you know, and the guy who sold his soul for all of knowledge. And he's just having fun playing with her. And then the next story is he drops her into the classic Universal horror monster films, but like as they're being filmed. So she's on the set of Bride of Frankenstein. So it's interesting how this is all working. I'm very excited about it. Like I said, I really love the character of Elvira, first created by Ms. Peterson, and I love that she has this ongoing life in the comics, and it's great. Ever since Elvira's House of Mystery, still the best House of Mystery. I don't care. It was the best one.
Do you remember what issue number that one was?
The issue of Elvira.
Yeah.
That is issue number. See here. First was I think that was 3. Because first was Mary Shelley. Second was Edgar Allan Poe. This time it was Bram Stoker. So that's 3.
Okay.
And then 4 will be her going into, like I said, going to the Bride of Frankenstein set. So that'll be interesting.
Awesome. Hey, did anybody read the new Infinity War Ghost Panther?
I did not get the chance yet.
Oh my lord. So basically, it's T'Challa, you know, out like normal, but he has an argument with his father, so he leaves, you know, everything behind, goes to America, hooks up with Jericho Simpson.
Okay.
And basically, you know, makes him a stunt rider, and he's like, "What's your name?" T'Challa. He's like, "That's not gonna play in middle America. Let's give you an American name. Johnny Blaze."
Sure, why not?
Yeah. But then T'Challa's father gets killed, so the Demon Zarathos is like, hey, let's make a deal. I'll help you find the killers of your father, you know. Mm. And we get one, it's like, what is it, Man-Ape, but he's like half cyborg, which I'm thinking is like a play on Steel Wind. Anyway, but the last page, you see the other guy, and it's Eric Killraven.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Killraven. Yes.
Yes, I get it.
I think I need to know a lot more about Ghost Rider mythology to get half of these references. Because I get the Black Panther people that he's associating with.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds cool, you know. You know, I don't know. Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, you know, like I said, with all the you said go ahead. With all the crossovers, there's a lot of stuff that keeps on getting lost in the mix here. But anyway, yes, Lilith, what would you like to say?
I was going to say, are we just not going to talk about the best Marvel book?
Which was?
West Coast Avengers.
Oh, really?
Well, that was going to be my next thing. I was going to say, Dan, when you read, there was 2 Kelly Thompson books. Yeah, West Coast Avengers, number 4.
Mm-hmm. Right here.
Yeah. Oh, you got it.
My floppy. Oh, of course. It's on my pull list.
Yes, it's Avengers, of course.
I like to buy the books I actually read, you know, believe it or not. You know, there's certain books that I do like to read on a regular basis, and this is one of them, because it has Gwenpool, who is the first person to coin the Bendis phrase, you know. People forget that. Because we were reviewing it, and I was showing Bendis, because that's how she knew she was worried that she was in a book being written by Bendis, because she was worried that Captain Marvel was going to be killed, and said, they're not going to kill Captain Marvel. Like, oh, they might let Bendis do it. And she saw Kitty Pryde. This book that must be being written by Bendis. So,
I mean, yeah,
that was the first Bendis.
I mean, it's like, it's modern and current, but you still get like some old school action. You get some old school shout out to Avengers. They appear on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yes, yeah. Well, the West Coast Avengers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. I guess what kind of bugged me on it is it just seemed, I don't know, it seemed almost like it's trying too hard to be kind of raucous and silly, Mm-hmm. And I guess it felt like it's trying. Just the fact that one of the villains is called the Death Oven. That's a little bit too Howard the Duck for me.
I thought you liked Howard the Duck.
I like Howard the Duck, but it feels like someone's trying to be Howard the Duck rather than someone's just being Howard the Duck, And I'm not saying it's not good. I really enjoyed it. The fact that basically the machine has a reverse button,
In Latin, was it Latin?
Yeah, basically. And I don't know how I feel about the Quentin Quire Gwenpool team up. That's a little weird.
Team up.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. Also, I'm not quite sure about why every, lesbian character is always on the make.
Yeah.
Because we see that again in Exiles with Valkyrie and Bucky. Or Becky, sorry. Where they just seem like, dude, like, keep it in your pants, okay? I get it, you're a sexually empowered woman, but still, not every person you meet you have to hook up with,
Is that
my theory.
Is that like a plot device that they use to be like, okay, see, this character is a lesbian, or
I mean, I guess so. It's but yeah, and it's just like, meets up with I don't know, whatever the new Absorbing Man character's name is, his sister, and
yeah,
and it's like, let's hook up. It's like in another dimension. I don't know. Like I said, it just seems a little. Basically, I think there's too much hooking up in this. I think like not everybody has to immediately go to hooking up, but maybe that's because I'm old and these are young, hip kids, and that's what they do nowadays. And the hook up.
That's what I was gonna say. Except for Clint Barton, the rest of them are like.
Yeah. So maybe I'm just the wrong demographic. I don't know.
All right. Well, Lilith messaged me. I guess she must be having technical difficulties, so she said, "Have fun."
Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go.
I was gonna say, do you want to save like Spider-Geddon for super connectivity?
Sure. We'll save Spider-Geddon for super connectivity. We can go back on the other books that we want to read.
Sure.
So I'll try and find my other thing. So okay. So that has been for this week.
That's right. We lost both Hellfire, so
we lost them. Then there were two.
Join us next week for the triumphant return of Lilith Hellfire. But anyway, email us about any of these shows or comic books. I've got some good stuff coming up. capesandlunatics@gmail.com, facebook.com/capesandlunatics, @capeslunatics on Twitter, Capes and Lunatics on Instagram, and the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Charlie Esser?
Well, you can always write to me at old-fashioned email way the way our mods and pods once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And coming this January, when shows return, follow me as I live tweet Gotham and other things. Oh, and we'll talk about Future Man, because that's coming back. Ooh, I'm so excited. Sometime later in the year, we're going to get that new show with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back, and that'll be fun. With me and Maz talking it. So stay tuned, kids, and follow me on Twitter at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEssesscr. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! There we go.
And I believe you can find Lilith Hellfire anywhere on social media, at Lilith Hellfire and at Save Me Podcast, if you like Superman, drinking, and swearing.
Does she like Superman?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I think she was burnt out for a while, but I believe she's back, especially if she's going to be talking about Smallville.
Now, Superman was never on Smallville. So.
Well, I guess she likes that, prequel stuff. All right. Let's get out of here. Get to Super Connectivity, where we'll check out Super Connectivity for our Ralph Breaks the Internet review. And as we said, we'll talk some comics, Spider-Geddon, And I'm sure Charlie wants to talk Immortal Hulk.
Yes.
So join us there. But until next week, we have been the Capes
and the Lunatics.
Nice.
Say more than one word this time. Yay!
Nice.
Because, usually I don't get to say my mind on the show. Ugh, just
No,
dominant.
I know.
Dominant.
You never get to say anything.
No, I'm making. I'm being self-aware and ironic, like Deadpool.
And remember, I believe it's December 9th, whatever that Saturday is, you can catch me and Tyler Patrick at the Steel City Con. Probably talking to Dean Cain or Brent Spiner. Peace out.